Hey folks, Malforian here, and today we got the release date finally for Roads to Power, the next major expansion DLC for Crusader Kings 3. This is also part of the Chapter 3 bundle if you did buy that, and the release date is going to be the 24th of September, so we've got a little while for it to come out, but not too long to be honest. Now I will say I kind of expected a rough overview dev diary today, but I have seen places that next week is going to be the first dev diary related to this content, so as always, do subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I'll be covering those all the way up to launch. And outside of that, not much else kind of announced today. Now, they did update the Steam page for it. So we're going to quickly go through that. And there's some very interesting screenshots as well that were added. And the first thing we've got listed here is administrative government, experienced medieval rule outside the feudal system with a new style of empire management. A web of governors jockeys for position in the empire with intrigue and power. Only a truly skilled emperor can keep these squabbling forces in line. Now, although this is listed under the glory and might of the Byzantine Empire, I'm not sure. I believe they mentioned in a previous dev diary that this can be used in other empires if they are a similar administrative type as the Byzantines. And then on top of that, we will get Byzantine-specific content as part of this system. I believe that's the case. I'm sure they'll cover it in a dev diary, but I believe that was what they said, that it can be used outside of the Byzantines as well. The second one is the family estate. Run and manage a powerful family estate. The scene of your house's power, even when you hold no land. So, as we do know, you can start unlanded, but you can also become unlanded during your campaigns. Construct new buildings and improvements to further your power and influence within an administrative empire. So again, here, they didn't say within the Byzantine Empire. They did say within an administrative empire. So again, kind of reinforcing, I believe, that admin system is going to be in other empires as well. And we will see a screenshot of how this looks. We did see one already in a previous dev diary, but there is a full screenshot now of how this UI looks. And the next thing, we've got the influence system. Build up a character's influence within an admin empire to climb the rungs of bureaucracy. Raise your status in the realm and gather more power for yourself. Start as a landless noble on an estate and compete for valuable provinces to govern before making your bid for the purple. So, alternate way to become the emperor. You're not doing it from like directly controlling land, as it were. You are playing as one of these governors, and that is how you can potentially become the emperor. A life of adventure. This is obviously the thing that most people are waiting for. I mean, a lot of Byzantine fans, but the unlanded character is kind of what a lot of people are hyped to see here. And in this, you're going to be able to freely roam the map, untied to any realm or holding, going wherever the winds of fortune blow you. Fulfill contracts as a landless adventurer, even through the generations, building up a reputation of your own. Earn gold, prestige and fame, traveling the globe until you finally decide to settle down and claim land you've earned through merit. As we kind of have discussed before, it looks like you can pretty much go around the map, do tournaments, maybe participate in battles. It is going to be very interesting to see the dev diaries on how this is exactly going to work. Again, there is a screenshot later on of how the camp system works, a little bit similar to the family estate, but based around the unlanded character system. But we don't know, again, how you can earn land through merit. Can you go to an emperor or a king and say, look how famous I am, why don't you give me some land? Or do different kings or emperors come to you and say, you're awesome, look how famous and cool your kind of dynasty is, even though you don't own any land. I want to give you this duchy if you then come and join my realm. I would imagine it works something like that, but again, we'll find out later on. Choose your successor or Caesar. Spend the influence you have gathered to determine the course of your empire and get a successor that you want, whether a royal family member, a powerful noble, a martial hero, or any other candidate you can rally the people behind. The emperor can even opt to co-rule if the burden for the throne is too much for one person. So we are getting that co-rule kind of gameplay here, as they've discussed previously. And then outside of that, the succession system here is kind of a specialized version of it where you can have different, maybe generals and things kind of nominated for the throne, which is going to be cool to see. New Byzantine flavor content, new events, monuments, and activities built around the Byzantine theme, including chariot racing. And we will see something especially cool in one of the screenshots soon. And then cosmetic additions, just a bunch of UI reskinning for the Byzantine players. And we've seen this shown before with like the really cool kind of purple table that your map sits on. And then obviously outside of that as well, we're getting a new throne rune, which again, we will see in the screenshots, looks absolutely amazing. And then there's also going to be new music based on Orthodox Holy Chants, which is also going to be included. So we get some new music. We obviously knew that, but the Crusader King music never really misses. So looking forward to that as well. And as I said, that is what it's been updated to today. It does look like the dev diary is going to start next week, so we'll probably start getting a lot more information about this. The DLC is quite a way off. It is like 3.5 months really before it comes out. So it looks like we might get dev diaries every week up till then. That would be awesome, giving us as much information as possible so we know what's coming at launch. And as I said, there was some screenshots, so we'll take a quick look at those before we finish today. And the first one here is the Men of the Fens. This is, I presume, the Unlanded character UI. You can see here it's got like a main pavilion, a mess tent, a barber's tent, and a supply tent. And this is the Unlanded character in the bottom left-hand side. It looks like above you can see like a helmet with 2 stars. I imagine that's like a level 2 reputation Unlanded character, which does look like is the person we're looking at. Outside of that, there's not really much else here we can take from that. Although in the top right-hand side, you can see he has, I guess, 3 knights as part of his entourage, I presume. And then the only other thing I can see here is next to gold and before prestige, there is a new resource type there. I wonder if you have to like keep your camp like stocked up with resources. Maybe that's like how much food and kind of provisions you have whilst you go adventuring. I'm not 100% sure. With it being an apple, I presume that's the case. But I haven't seen anything anywhere about what that resource is. So let me know what you think it could be in the comments down below. I presume it is something like that. Like you have to earn gold and then you spend that gold on provisions for your camp. And that would explain maybe around the supply tent, the mess tent. So I guess a version of supply limit for an Unlanded character, I presume it is. But outside of that, nothing else really here to show off, but it is cool to see the UI and, you know, some teasers there of what might be to come. And speaking of what is to come, look at this. This is the throne room for the Byzantines, and this looks absolutely amazing. I mean, look at the detail in this. Fantastic. I like the pedestals in the middle, obviously, if you've got some artifacts to show off. But the actual look itself is so, so cool. I absolutely love this. I'm going to be playing some Byzantine campaigns just to see this now. It is kind of fun. You see the Emperor there, and then his wife's like off to the side. Like, you're getting demoted down a little bit there, unlike all the other throne rooms. I think all the other throne rooms have them next to each other. This one, a little bit different. It is the Emperor of the Byzantine, so I can kind of see why, but this looks awesome. I can't wait to use this in some campaigns. In the next screenshot, we got Justinian's dream realized. This looks like it is a decision around kind of reforming the entire Roman Empire, I think, by the looks of it. So it is an auspicious day for today. The Empire of the Romans realizes its ancient potential. From every corner of the empire can shouts of jubilation and pride be heard. Hail Caesar! But I must now steer the sails of this vast enterprise. What will we make of this robe? Among my many predecessors and the myriad of incarnations of Roman power, the choice is narrow. Shall we continue on true to our recent culture, or shall we fully embrace the traditions of our ancestors? So I guess this is where you can stay as the Byzantines. You can have the entire Roman Empire, but you stay as like the Byzantine Roman Empire. Or I believe the second option, I guess, is where you convert back to being Romans and it becomes, you know, Roman culture and everything around that. I imagine that could be the case. We'll find out obviously a lot more in the future, but I believe that's what the decision is going to be. An amazing art as always, and this is going to be really cool. And then speaking of things that are really cool, the Splintered Crusade. Yes, we are getting the 4th Crusade in Crusader Kings with a full event chain, it looks like. And as you can see here, this is warning you, the Splintered Crusade, that the Crusade has basically spurned the Pope and they are going to come for Constantinople and they're going to cause you a lot of trouble. So really cool to see this in here. I think we all believe we were going to get a version of this, but it's cool to get confirmation that we are getting a version of the 4th Crusade in game. And as you can see here as well, you can see the Byzantine specific table here that we're all getting if you buy the DLC. And then outside of that, you can see a few other things as well in this screenshot. So in the bottom left-hand side, I guess you can see the estate icon is the 4th one along after the balance of power icon. And then in the top right-hand corner, again, between gold and prestige, you can see a new icon. I believe this must be the influence system, as they mentioned in the Steam page. I believe that's what that icon is for the influence within the empire. And then on the right-hand side, you can see below court events, there's a new icon there as well. It looks like an abacus, so I'm not sure if that's based around Byzantine systems specifically. Maybe that's where the governorship system is or something like that. My guess is as good as yours. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But amazing to see we are getting the 4th Crusade in a full event chain by the looks of it. That's going to be really cool to play through as the Byzantines, and I guess as not part of the Byzantines and actually attacking it as well. I wonder if Venice gets a special version of this as well to play through, obviously being on the other side of what happens here. And then the last thing here is that Estates UI that we have seen a little bit of previously in the dev diaries, but we get the full look of it now. And as you can see with the Unlanded version, you're going to have all these buildings you can upgrade, and they're going to give you bonuses by the looks of it as well. And I believe this does confirm that icon is for influence. You can see in the top again here, saying he has 853. So I believe it must be influence, as both screenshots about the Byzantines and both have that icon in there as well. And it's in the similar kind of place you would expect it to be. You can actually see here as well, the UI has got that kind of Byzantine look to it. So we are getting a reskinned UI, which we did know about as well. But that's it. That's all the news that came out today. I wanted to cover it because, of course, we got the release date. And then we have got some interesting screenshots and news here as well. So let me know what you think about it. What are you looking forward to? What are you kind of waiting to jump in and play as your first campaign? But we'll leave it there for today. As always, hit that like button if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are new here. I cover Crusader Kings every week. I do news, I do dev diary coverage. We do discussion videos as well about a multitude of things. And I also do the occasional live stream as well. I'm also covering EU5. If you're unaware, that has been kind of secretly announced by Paradox, and Johan's doing what he calls Tinto Talks every week, where he gives us information about features, and that's been really cool to cover as well. So if that's the first time you've heard about that, I've got a whole series on the channel covering those, and I'll be covering them up to official announcement and beyond, but we'll leave it there for today, and I'll see you in the next one.